They thought they could break me. The HOA tore down my barn, fined me thousands, and even threatened to take my land. But they didn't realize one thing. I knew their deepest weakness, and once I found it, I turned their perfect neighborhood into a living nightmare they couldn't escape. I've lived on this farm since I was a kid. My family worked this land for 3 generations. But about 15 years ago, developers built a gated neighborhood right next to me. Shiny houses, fancy SUVs, and of course their precious HOA. At first I didn't mind. I stayed on my land, they stayed on theirs. But soon they started complaining. They said my barn was an eyesore. They said my tractors were too loud. They even tried to tell me when I could feed my animals. One morning I came home and saw bulldozers on my property. The HOA had hired a crew and ripped down one side of my barn wall. They left behind a notice: non-compliant structure. Must be removed. I wasn't even part of their HOA. This was my land. That was the day I decided enough was enough. I called the sheriff. Guess what he said? It's a civil matter, take it up with court. The HOA knew this would drag out for months. Meanwhile, they started sending me fines in the mail. Hundreds, then thousands. They thought I'd break under the pressure. But here's what they didn't know. Back when this land was first developed, my grandfather made a deal with the county. That little creek running through my property, it feeds directly into the neighborhood's irrigation system. Their lawns, their flower beds, even their fancy fountain at the clubhouse, it all depends on water flowing through my land. I spent 2 days with a backhoe and a load of gravel. I diverted that creek right back onto my fields, where it belonged. Suddenly, the HOA's sprinklers ran dry. Their fountains sputtered and died. The grass on their million-dollar lawns turned brown almost overnight. But I wasn't done. I put up huge private property, no trespassing signs along the walking trail they loved so much. Turns out, half that trail was built on my side of the line. I set up fencing, blocked access, and even added cameras so they couldn't sneak back in. The HOA board was furious. They stormed to my door demanding I fix the water supply. I told them, sure, as soon as you rebuild my barn and pay every dollar in damages. They laughed at first. They said their lawyers would eat me alive. But when I pulled out the county deed proving the creek rights were mine, their faces changed fast. Meanwhile, the neighborhood was falling apart. Lawns dead, fountains dry, walking trail closed. Residents were screaming on Facebook, blaming the HOA board. The president, once so smug, was suddenly very quiet. It took exactly 3 weeks before they caved. Not only did they rebuild my barn, they signed a 25-year lease for water rights, paid in full, up front. And I made sure the contract said if they ever touched my property again, the deal was void. Now, every time they walk that trail or drink from that fountain, they're reminded, mess with me, and I'll take away the very things you brag about. The HOA thought they could bully a farmer, but in the end, they paid the price. If you love seeing arrogant HOAs get what they deserve, make sure to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more stories like this. Because trust me, this isn't the last time they'll try to cross me.